Welcome to Brian Johnson Official Stories. Have a wonderful day.
Family forgot my birthday again. A week later, I got an invite, my brother's baby shower, hosted at the cabin I helped them buy. No apology. Just a request to Venmo $200 for catering. I sent 1 cent with a note. This is what I've got left for you. Then I blocked every number. 2 days later, my sister tried to log into the joint account. It was gone, just like me. They forgot my birthday. Again. No text. No call. No lazy Facebook post from mom with a string of heart emojis and a recycled childhood photo. Not even one of those group gifts my sister loves to spam for literally everything, including National Donut Day. Just silence. From all of them. I'm not 12. I don't need a cake or balloons. But I have 3 kids who made me handmade cards. My youngest even asked if Grandpa was coming over. I lied and said he was busy with work. He wasn't. He just didn't remember. A week later, I'm sitting on my porch drinking coffee, and I get a group text from my sister. She's all sunshine and exclamation points. Hey fam! Baby shower for Jake and Lisa next weekend. We're doing it at the cabin. So excited. Please Venmo me $200 for catering by Friday. THX. Red heart. The cabin. My cabin. Or at least half mine. Or maybe 1/4 now after all the financial juggling we did when my brother couldn't get approved for a loan on his own. It was supposed to be a family thing, but I fronted the down payment, paid the contractor, bought the furniture, installed the deck with my own tools, and even refinanced my car to help seal the deal. They threw a housewarming party 6 months ago and forgot to invite me to that too. Said it was last minute. Now it was being used for my brother's baby shower. A man who once called me uptight because I asked him to pay me back for the fence he asked me to cover. No one had run the idea by me. No invitation. Just a casual request for money. That's what I was now. An ATM that didn't require small talk. I looked at that text for a long time. Not just annoyed. Not even angry, really. Just done. There was nothing left in me for them to take. That night, I opened Venmo and sent my sister exactly 1 cent with a note. This is what I've got left for you. Then I blocked every single number. Mom. Dad. Sister. Brother. Family group chat. Done. My wife raised an eyebrow when I told her. I think she'd been waiting for this moment for years but didn't want to push me. She just said, "Good." For 2 days, it was quiet. Like someone turned down the volume on my life. Then the first ripple hit. My sister texted me from an unknown number, clearly panicking. Something about our old emergency savings account. She couldn't log in. Said it was gone. What she didn't know was that earlier that week, I'd gone to the bank and closed it. That account was originally supposed to help any one of us during a crisis. The only one who ever contributed to it was me. And the only one who ever used it. Also me for them. The balance, just under $19,000, was now sitting in a private account under my name only. I hadn't touched a cent. Not yet. I just wanted it out of reach. Then came the emails. My mom sent a long one about how confused and hurt she was. She didn't understand why I was being so cold. She reminded me that we were family. That Jake and Lisa were just so busy, and that birthdays didn't matter that much after a certain age. I didn't reply. I read that line a few times. Out loud. Then I looked at the crayon-drawn card on my desk that my daughter made, where she asked why Grandpa wasn't there to sing with them. My kids remembered. My kids cared. My family didn't forget my birthday. They just didn't think it mattered. Not unless they needed something from me. Then suddenly, I was very easy to remember. But I was done being useful to people who only saw me as a utility. Something had shifted in me. Something permanent. I wasn't even mad. I was just clear. And they were about to find out what happens when the quiet one finally decides to speak up. Part 2, the baby shower bombshell. The baby shower was set for Saturday. I wasn't invited, but I knew every detail, thanks to my sister's oversharing on social media. She posted a countdown, tagged the caterer, even showed off the DIY decorations she stayed up all night making. A real effort. Not like remembering a sibling's birthday or anything. They were calling it Baby bash at the cabin. I guess Jake and Lisa thought they were influencers now. Jake posted a selfie on the deck I built, captioned, "Built for moments like this blue heart dot." He didn't tag me. Of course he didn't. What they didn't know was that I still had partial ownership of the property. And I had the key. I wasn't going to crash the party. That would have been too obvious. Too petty. I didn't need a scene. What I needed was a reminder. A small, surgical disruption. Something they'd feel but couldn't publicly complain about without looking stupid. So I made a phone call on Friday afternoon. Spoke with the property manager who handled cabin rentals in the area. I gave him a heads up. The cabin was off limits for the weekend due to unresolved ownership disputes. No rentals, no events. Liability issue. He knew me. I'd hired him to manage short-term stays when we weren't using it. He was confused but said he'd lock it down. Then I called the county and filed a temporary injunction on the use of the cabin for events. Just enough red tape to make it unappealing. I also had the water shut off for maintenance. The gas company got the same call. Clogged line. I did all this from my couch while watching my son build a Lego spaceship. Saturday morning, 10:42 a.m. My phone buzzed, new number again. It was my sister. Texted, "Why is there a lock on the driveway gate? People are arriving. Did you do this?" No reply. Then another. "You can't be serious. We have catering coming. Guests are driving from 3 hours away. Lisa's crying." Still no reply. An hour later, I got a message from my mom. She skipped the guilt and went straight to panic. "Kurt, you need to fix this now. This is a special day for Jake. Be the bigger person. Please. Be the bigger person." That line hit different. Because that's what I'd been for years. The one who drove 4 hours to help Dad move a couch. The one who paid the deductible when Jake wrecked Mom's car. The one who said yes to everything and got forgotten when it wasn't convenient to remember me. I watched the stories come in later. The event was moved last minute to my parents' backyard. No mountain views. No fancy charcuterie table. Just a bunch of mismatched chairs and a folding table full of Costco snacks. Jake didn't look happy. Lisa didn't smile once. My sister posted a story with the caption, "Not what we planned, but we made it work, flexed biceps, sparkling heart dot." No one tagged me. Monday, I got a call from Dad. I didn't answer, but he left a voicemail. He sounded tired. Said we needed to talk. I ignored it. Then on Wednesday, my mom showed up at my house. Uninvited. My mom showed up uninvited on a Wednesday morning with a container of banana bread like that was supposed to make it all okay. Not that she'd baked it herself. I could smell the grocery store on it. I didn't invite her in. Just stepped outside and closed the door behind me. She started with small talk. Weather. My lawn. The flowers. I let her talk. Eventually, she moved into it gently, like she was afraid to admit why she was actually standing on my porch. "We didn't mean to forget your birthday." That's what she said? Not, "I'm sorry." Just that they didn't mean to. I told her I wasn't mad about the birthday anymore. Because forgetting a birthday is just a symptom. The real disease is being forgotten altogether, except when they need something. She tried shifting the blame to being busy. Said Jake and Lisa had been so overwhelmed. That nobody was trying to hurt me. I asked her when the last time anyone in our family called just to check on me was. Not for help. Not for money. Just to ask how I was doing. She couldn't answer. She looked at her shoes instead. Then she asked if I really had the water and gas shut off at the cabin, like Jake was claiming. I said I did. She said Jake was furious. That Lisa cried. That they had guests show up with gifts and nowhere to sit. That everyone had to cram into her backyard and they were embarrassed. I told her that was the point. She blinked like I slapped her. I asked her why it's only when I finally push back that anyone notices I'm here. I asked how many more years I was supposed to play the responsible one, while Jake kept coasting and being celebrated for doing the bare minimum. She tried to defend him, again. Said he's just wired differently. That he's not good with money. That life has been harder for him. I asked her what was easier about raising 3 kids on a single income while helping pay for their family vacations. What was easier about covering Dad's dental surgery last year when his insurance didn't. I said the only difference was that I never expected someone else to carry me. Then she tried a different angle, My kids. Said they shouldn't grow up without their grandparents. I told her they already were. That birthdays had come and gone without a single card or call from any of them. That my youngest asked if Uncle Jake didn't like us. That shut her up for a while. She asked if I was serious about cutting ties. I said no, I wasn't cutting ties. I was just finally setting terms. If they wanted me in the family, it wouldn't be on their old terms. No more quiet Kurt. No more free labor. No more automatic yes to everything. I told her I was willing to talk, but I wasn't going to be anyone's safety net anymore. She left without saying much. Took the banana bread with her. 2 days later, my dad showed up. I didn't expect much. The man spent his life pretending not to notice things that made him uncomfortable. But he sat at my kitchen table for over an hour and just listened. Didn't defend. Didn't lecture. He asked questions. Real ones. Then he said something I never thought I'd hear. You were right. We've been unfair to you. We let Jake get away with everything because it was easier than dealing with his tantrums. And we leaned on you because we knew you'd never push back. He didn't even ask me to forgive him. He just said he was sorry. My sister texted later that night asking if we could talk. We met the next day. She cried, not dramatically. Quietly. She said seeing how I pulled away made her realize how much she took for granted. She told me she felt ashamed that she couldn't even remember the last time she asked me about my life. They were all starting to get it. All of them except Jake. He sent a single group message. This is pathetic. Kurt's acting like he's been abused or something. Grow up. You're not the victim here. That was it. One long whine pretending to be strength. Then something strange happened. My mom, the woman who used to tell me to let it go every time Jake screwed me over, replied to the thread. Enough, Jake. Just stop. Followed by my dad. Your brother isn't the one who needs to grow up. And my sister. I'm embarrassed by this. You owe Kurt an apology. Jake never replied. Just left the group chat. Now they all want to start fresh. They're trying, I'll give them that. But I've changed. Something in me broke and reassembled itself differently. I can't go back to who I was before. I don't even want to. We see each other now and then. Sunday dinners. Short visits. They ask real questions. They don't ask for money. But I don't feel closer. I just feel freer. Because for once, I know they see me not as the helper, the wallet, the fallback guy. They see me as someone who finally said no. It didn't take long for Jake to resurface. About a month after the failed baby shower, my parents invited us all over for dinner. Just a simple thing, they said. No big speeches, no awkward circle of truth. They just wanted to try being a family again. My wife was skeptical. I was cautious. But I agreed. We pulled into the driveway that evening and immediately saw Jake's truck parked out front. Still dented in the back from the time he hit a light pole and blamed the curb. Lisa wasn't with him. Guess she learned faster than the rest of them. Dinner started out quiet. My mom made pot roast. My dad actually helped set the table, which was new. There were attempts at normal conversation. My sister talked about a promotion. My mom brought up a Netflix show she thought we'd like. Nothing about the past. Nothing about the cabin. Then Jake spoke. You all done pretending this guy's a hero? He said, motioning toward me with his fork. The room stopped. I mean, come on. He throws a tantrum, tanks my baby shower, cuts everyone off, and now we're all supposed to act like he's Gandhi? No one responded. He was smirking, like he thought he'd finally broken the tension. I looked at my dad. He didn't say a word. Just kept chewing. Jake kept going. He had that tone, half sarcasm, half bitterness, like he thought he was the only one who saw the truth. He always thought he was better than us, Jake said. Just because he worked a job with benefits and didn't screw up his credit. You know what that makes him? Boring. Not better. Just a guy with a calculator for a heart. That's when my mom stood up. I thought she was going to leave the room. She didn't. She looked Jake dead in the eye and said, "Sit down and shut up." Jake laughed, thought she was kidding. Then he realized she wasn't. She looked around the table. "We let him do everything," she said. "We let him carry this family. And instead of thanking him, we made him feel like he was supposed to." Jake tried to interrupt, but my dad cut him off. "You were never supposed to be the one we relied on," he said to me. "But we did. And when you finally said no, we blamed you for the fallout. That's on us." It was quiet for a long time. My kids were in the living room watching a movie, unaware this dinner was turning into a therapy session. Jake finally spoke again, lower this time. "Whatever. He's still dramatic." No one answered. He looked around, waiting for someone to back him up. No one did. Eventually, he got up, took his plate to the sink, said he had stuff to do, left without saying goodbye. The rest of the night was okay. Not perfect. But something real started to form. My sister asked about my wife's work. My mom told my kids she missed them. My dad asked if I'd help him fix the garage door next weekend, not in the old way, but more like he wanted to spend time with me. We left a little before 9. On the drive home, my wife asked how I felt. I said it was strange. Like being in a familiar place where the furniture's been rearranged. She asked if I believed the change would last. I told her I didn't know. But I wasn't afraid to leave again if it didn't. Because Jake was wrong. I didn't throw a tantrum. I finally told the truth. And they finally heard it. After that dinner, something shifted permanently. The old balance, where I did the giving and they did the asking, was gone. They hadn't magically turned into saints, but for the first time in years, I didn't feel like I was being tolerated for my usefulness. We started seeing each other occasionally. Short dinners. Quick visits. They didn't ask for favors. No one mentioned money. My mom sent texts just to ask how we were doing. My sister actually mailed a birthday card to my daughter. My dad even came by to help me install a new water heater, showed up with tools and everything, not just advice. Jake, on the other hand, went radio silent. He still popped up on social media with motivational quotes and blurry gym selfies, pretending to be unfazed. But I heard from Lisa's cousin that they were struggling. He'd borrowed money from her side of the family, and hadn't paid it back. He'd lost a freelance gig because he didn't meet deadlines, and apparently blamed bad energy. Classic Jake. I wasn't interested. I didn't miss him. The family didn't either, which was telling. The next real test came in August. My sister was planning a family barbecue. She wanted to do it at the cabin. I paused when she said that. The cabin had been left untouched since the baby shower mess. She was careful with her wording. Said, "Only if you're okay with it." Asked if I wanted to come down with her and fix it up together. I said I'd think about it. My wife didn't like the idea at first. Thought it was a trap. But I wasn't going for them. I was going for me. That cabin represented everything I let myself get used. I needed to see it with new eyes. So we drove up the following weekend. Just me and my sister. No kids. No noise. It was a mess. Deck warped from the snow. Pipes needed flushing. Backyard was overgrown. But for the first time, she helped. Really helped. We scrubbed, patched, fixed. She didn't talk much about the past, but when we sat down on the steps to rest, she asked quietly, "Do you think you'll ever forgive us?" I told her it wasn't about forgiveness. I wasn't carrying hate. I just wasn't handing out free access anymore. "If I let you back in," I said, "you're coming through the front door. No more side doors. No more sneaking through my calendar, my bank account, or my conscience." She nodded. Fair. We had the barbecue 2 weeks later. Everyone showed up, except Jake. The food was good. The kids ran around. My dad manned the grill and didn't try to fix anything. My mom asked me questions about work, not about what I could do for someone else. It was peaceful. At one point, my son asked why Uncle Jake wasn't there. My dad answered before I could. He said, "Sometimes people need more time to grow up." And my son, in that brutally honest way kids have, just said, "But he's already old." We all laughed. Even my mom. That night, my sister handed me an envelope. Inside was a check. $3,000. She said it was her share of what I'd put into the cabin. Said it wasn't everything she owed me, but it was a start. She told me she was making things right, one piece at a time. I believed her. For the first time in a long time, I didn't feel like I was part of a broken family. I felt like I was part of a rebuilding one. But I wasn't putting the old weight back on. I'd set the new terms. Thanksgiving was my mom's idea. She said it like it was a mission, One big family meal to show we were whole again. She was calling it the reset. Said it would be good for the kids. Said it was time to close the chapter. I didn't agree, but I didn't fight it either. I was curious. Curious to see if anything had really changed or if we were just playing a new round of the same old game. They invited Jake too. My dad even told me over the phone. He said he's willing to show up if everyone acts normal. Right. Because Jake's version of normal is the world revolving around him without making a single orbit back. He showed up 20 minutes late in a button-up shirt that still had the tags on it. Brought a bottle of cheap red wine like it was a grand gesture. Didn't say hi to me or my wife. Just walked in like he owned the place. Told my mom he hadn't eaten all day because Lisa's on some cleanse nonsense again. Lisa wasn't with him. I didn't ask why. Dinner was awkward from the start. My mom tried too hard, my sister was too quiet, my dad kept changing the subject anytime silence threatened to settle. Jake acted like nothing had happened. Asked my kids how school was, joked with my wife like he hadn't insulted me the last time we'd been in the same room. Then halfway through dinner, he raised his glass and said, "I think it's time we let bygones be bygones." Everyone froze. My sister stared down at her plate. My mom gave a weak smile. My dad didn't move. I said, "You're welcome to let go of whatever you're holding." "I already have." Jake rolled his eyes. "Here we go." And there it was. The real Jake. The one who couldn't stand being anything less than the center. "You really love this whole I'm the wronged one thing, don't you?" he said. "You've got everyone eating out of your hand now. Must feel good." I didn't even look at him. I cut into my turkey. Said, "No, what feels good is not needing to explain myself anymore." He laughed, but it wasn't real. "You think you're better than us." My dad put his fork down. "Jake. That's enough." "No," Jake said. "Let's not pretend. You all just got tired of dealing with me. So now Kurt gets to be the golden child because he finally grew a spine and blocked everyone." My mom stood up. "Jake, this dinner was to bring us together." He shrugged. "You brought us together. Now you're watching the split." No one spoke. He stood there for a second, waiting for someone to defend him. No one did. Then he pushed back his chair and left. Didn't say goodbye. Didn't even take his coat from the rack. Just walked out. We all sat there for a while. My daughter asked if he was coming back. My mom said, "Not tonight." After the dishes were done and the kids were asleep in the car, my dad walked us out. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. "I thought maybe he'd get it this time." I shook my head. "He doesn't want to get it. He just wants it to go his way." My dad nodded. "He's gonna have to learn it the hard way, I guess." "I'm done being the lesson," I said. He didn't argue. Back home, I sat in the garage for a while after everyone went to bed. Thought about the dinner, the silence, the wine glass still sitting on the table half full. This was the closest we'd ever come to a reunion, and it still wasn't one. Because the truth is, not every story needs to end in togetherness. Some people stay behind. Some people only come close enough to test your boundaries again. And some families don't need fixing, they just need redefining. I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't bitter. I was just done. The next week, my mom sent pictures from Thanksgiving. My dad sent me a text asking when I was free to grab coffee. My sister asked if my youngest liked Legos because she found a cool set on sale. Life moved forward. But Jake stayed out of the picture. And for once, no one begged me to pull him back in. This wasn't a happy ending. It was just an honest one. And for me, that was finally enough. Update: thought I was done with family drama. Turns out I was just on intermission. So yeah, things seemed stable. After that last Thanksgiving debacle, I figured the dust had finally settled. My parents were showing up more often, mostly just for the kids, but still. My sister and I were slowly rebuilding something real. And for the first time in years, I had mental space to breathe. Until last week. I was at work when I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I usually ignore those, but something made me pick up. "Hi, this is Claire from Pinebrook Title Services. I just had a few quick questions about the transfer documents for the cabin." Transfer documents. I didn't say anything for a second. She continued, a little hesitant now. "We've got your name listed on the original co-ownership agreement, So we just need your sign-off to proceed with the full transfer to Jake McAllister. Yeah. Jake. Trying to quietly transfer the cabin into his name behind my back. I kept my voice calm and said I'd need all the documentation sent to me before I could confirm anything. Hung up. 10 minutes later, the email hit my inbox. Scanned it. Sure enough, Jake had submitted paperwork claiming I was relinquishing my share. Forged signature. Filed without even telling me. The man didn't even try to cover it up well. I called the title office back and explained what was going on. They froze the process immediately. Legal red flags everywhere. I didn't tell anyone in the family. Not right away. Instead, I showed up at my parents' house unannounced the next day. Sat down with my dad and handed him a printed copy of the document Jake submitted. He read the first page. His face went pale. Then he just said, "Oh no. They didn't know." I believe that now. My mom was horrified. She called my sister while I was sitting there. Word spread fast. That night, Jake called me from a blocked number. Left a voicemail. Said I was overreacting. That it was just a paperwork misunderstanding. That he'd meant to call me about it. And figured I wouldn't care since I wasn't using the place. I sent the voicemail to my lawyer. Now, there's a restraining order pending. A fraud complaint. And a very awkward silence sitting over the family group chat like a thundercloud nobody wants to poke. But here's the kicker. Since the cabin fallout, something unexpected happened. I started getting offers on it. Turns out a friend of a friend had stayed there years ago and always wanted to buy it if we ever sold. Made a cash offer. Clean deal. Way above what I thought it was worth. I accepted. We close next month. I'll be walking away from that place with more than I put into it, and more importantly, zero emotional baggage tied to it. My parents were stunned. My mom cried. My dad said he wished things had gone differently. But they respected it. Even my sister said she was proud of me. Jake hasn't been seen since. I don't expect he'll show up again until he finds someone else to leech off of. The funniest part? My kids don't even ask about him anymore. They ask when Grandpa and Grandma are coming over. They ask if Aunt Megan can babysit. They talk about building Legos with Grandpa in the garage. The family isn't what it was. But it's finally what it should be.